Hello viewers, my name is Adam.
You know what I mean?
This is Seeking Media Productions, bringing you a movie review.
Guys, it's Suicide Squad!
The Suicide Squad, which is sort of like the soft sequel to David Ayer's unofficial movie.
So yeah, that one did happen, and it is... We don't really need to talk too much about it because everybody's really talked about it, but you know that there's shenanigans with that first outing, and we were all hoping that it would not blow over into this one, and hopefully this one would make its own mark. And I'm happy to say it does.
Warner Brothers still pretty rocky with handling the live action properties, at least theatrical wise,
Exactly.
in the DC universe, and still it's very concerning how much they are struggling with at least trying to find a good foundation.
There are some gems in here. There definitely are. You have the very first Wonder Woman movie they came out with. Aquaman was a hit.
Warner Bros. Is still going headstrong on at least providing some other directors with creative freedom to what they do. Now, mind you, with that creative freedom, it still presents itself with some mighty highs and some mighty lows, i.e. Wonder Woman 1984 being on the low end. But here we are, we're going to talk about one of the highs, and it's presented with glorious freedom from James Gunn. So what we have in the as far as the plot is concerned is a film that sets up quickly establishes who the Suicide Squad is, without having to retread familiar material. And basically the plot is set around it's basically set in the fictional South American country of Costa Maltese, fictional setting that's present in the DC universe.
To take a tip from another universe in the video game franchise, it is very obvious that at this particular point, none of these people can ever go back to this country again.
Yes, is this as a stand-in for probably Venezuela? I would say any political commentary is pretty surface level. So take it as well. There is mainly served as the driving force of the plot that's provided. But here we are. It does get to some satirical situations.
Oh yeah, this film does not, skip out on the laughs. There are plenty to be had.
And it just goes for show that it shows a very clear difference in filmmaking. While James Gunn is, I would say, he's compared to Quentin Tarantino in his style of storytelling, where they have these. They tend to tell a story with this huge mix of tones, and it basically leads the audiences to how they react to them because it's very visceral. Well, Quentin Tarantino is very grounded in his eccentricities, how you pronounce that word. James Gunn is very wild in terms of the surreal.
Yeah, this movie's gorgeous. It has quite a few standout scenes and visuals that I wish that Disney Marvel would allow Gunn to emphasize in the Guardians series. He goes balls to the wall here, and it shows with a masterful class of things that you really need to experience firsthand.
And we'll get to that, diving deep into that visual perspective later on when we discuss production. But going back to the story, how they balance the tone, let's mind you, they do try to pass this off as a comedy. Let's just say that how you take the humor of this is based on your taste.
Yeah, no, let's emphasize that for a hot second. This movie may not be for everybody. Only for the mere fact is that if it does take things, it throws everything out there on its face and expects you to just take it as it is.
Yes.
And that's exactly how you need to take this film.
Because you have to remember, all of the characters are pretty much villains.
Exactly. And what is a villain but a bad guy in the story? These are individuals that they're usually taking the bad guys from individual stories and putting them together and putting them as the protagonists. A lot of people tend to get that particular word misconstrued or they find it hard to grasp that a protagonist isn't always going to be the good guy. It's just the main guy that you're or gal that's going to be the person that you'll be following in the story. That doesn't necessarily mean that their moral actions are going to align with the angels. Sometimes they are going to be, with the bad guys and the devils in the deep. These people are coming from a background where their lives are shady and the things they done were shady.
And they come off as callous when some very horrible, horrible things occur.
Exactly.
So let's talk about those characters, because this is very much an ensemble piece.
Everybody in this movie got a chance to shine, and I am here for it.
Margot Robbie, who is basically the only A-lister as far as the DC characters go, based on her portrayal of Harley Quinn. This is her third film in this DCEU, and she evolves every time she is on screen.
This is probably my favorite of her outings as that character. I really enjoyed her in this.
If there was ever an actual lead in the film, it'll go to Idris Elba's Bloodsport.
I love him. He's such a cool guy, and his acting is like, yes, I'm with Bloodsport. He is the de facto leader of this group in this film.
The reluctant leader.
Exactly.
But he is here as in lead as the film and as the team. And I don't want to say it, but it is obvious that he's basically just a stand-in, as Will Smith from the first film wasn't available at the time.
But he does have his own unique charm to it. I'll give him that. They come with similar, backgrounds and have their own similar, approach to how they go around with the actions and the situations, of course. But I was here for Alba, and I am here for Bloodsport.
Mm-hmm. And other members of the Suicide Squad, I'll say, don't get attached.
Yeah. And this is very much a movie where they do take the concept of the Suicide Squad very seriously.
Mm-hmm. There's a whole list of actors presented here. And
they're not all going to be here at the end.
Yes, they do live up to the name. Pretty much the main core cast is what they mainly show in the promotional material, as well as some of the main posters.
Exactly.
And I'll say immediate standouts from the new cast of characters are easily, for me, John Cena's Peacekeeper and Daniela.
We're talking about Ratcatcher Part 2.
Not Part 2, just 2.
I call her Part 2.
Part 2. But they are highlights among the new cast.
Look, when it comes to John Cena, I'm cool. I'm happy that a lot of individuals coming from different backgrounds, like of course John Cena and The Rock, who are coming from these wrestling backgrounds and are trying to. Oh, and
Dave Bautista.
Yeah, Dave Bautista. Thank you. These wrestlers are taking their time to try and expand their horizons with new approaches. And John Cena was very much trying to follow in the footsteps, or at least his career was looking like it was following in the footsteps of The Rock. And
it was going to hit him a lot of misses at that point.
But this film, I feel as though, was a step in the right directions. I really did enjoy his portrayal of Peacekeeper here.
And he's very much established the very murky ground that the Suicide Squad established itself to be.
It does.
Ratcatcher 2, she is the heart of the film.
She was a darling.
Yeah, she is. In fact, she's actually portrayed as more of the innocent amongst this very, very unstable group of characters. Viola Davis reprises her role as Amanda Waller, a character like in the comics is hard-edged.
Yeah,
and
that lady has no chill.
No chill at all, and Viola Davis. She can play this role in her sleep, but she does it good. Rick Flag also comes back in his role,
and I liked him better in this. I gotta say this.
David, what was his name? Killerman.
Yeah, David Killerman. There you go.
Joel Killerman.
Yeah, Joel Killerman. Sorry.
He's the grounded military character who has to essentially does basically. His role is more like a supervisor.
Yeah.
But he has a character arc in this film that, if there's any character you want, amongst all the craziness, he is one of the characters that you do want to root for.
Exactly. Actually, I found myself running for wanting to root for quite a few people in this.
Just surprising, and some very surprising though. There are some characters because there's a lot of throwaways. Most of the people are cannon fodder.
Exactly, it's gonna happen.
It is, They do it because you have to live up to it. Some surprises.
Yeah.
A lot of surprise deaths.
People that didn't feel as though like, wow, y'all went there? That's y'all really killed this person? This is how they died?
Like, the only people, there are some characters that I feel as though they were wasted. There's very few. Actually, just a couple. Some people are going to talk about King Shark. I'm not really. I didn't hate the portrayal of King Shark,
but I definitely wish they went with a different direction.
Let's just go right into production because I'll say, amongst all the craziness, James Gunn is an understatement that he say that he didn't hold back.
No,
because from the visuals, the cinematography, the music, the use of music is very, very well done here. What we have is someone who came from Marvel, who did previous 2 more Guardians films, and what he brings here is something that's on par with something Zack Snyder would do on the visual front.
But better.
Like, he brings off that grittiness, but yet still does not said that, like, he doesn't lose the color at all. In fact, he does color in very unique ways, and ways in which I didn't even think that was possible. Like, wow. Yeah, the camera work helped emphasize some of the action sequences and like some of the character beats that, like, there are some ways in which he does some visual storytelling that that help emphasize some of the emotional driven from the characters.
Look no further. I guess it's not a spoiler or anything, but I was like, when people are telling their backgrounds, or when they give their emphasis on certain ways that they have how they feel about certain situations, take a moment to just appreciate and dive deep on how they go about telling it.
The music from who's composed by John Murphy, like here I'm listening to it, this sounds familiar, and like he does like it's very familiar because he did Kick Ass and well, like it was the 28 Days Later soundtrack, something that he's known for doing mixed instrumental scores with heavy uses of guitar and with some subtle uses of other more softer instrumental tones to help create this balance of hard edginess with sincerity. Something that help counteract with the chaotic tone that they want to go with. Now, I will say that it did take like about halfway through for the action to really be something that's very exciting for me.
No, I can see that.
Because even though there's like utilize that hard or like it
look, they took their time to try and space out action where they needed to have action, so that way you didn't feel as though you were bored in certain areas. And because in this movie, I never really found myself thinking that there was like, okay, this needs to pick up. No, I feel as though this is one of those rare cases where they did a decent job of trying to place where they was going to have their bigger moments at, or at least moments where they was going to where the energy needed to pick up.
Yes, and I feel as though the crescendo of the third act is really what pushes over this film that stands out from amongst even films within the same genre.
Exactly. Like I said, it is. I can't stress it enough that there has been so many films these days where the third act has fallen apart, or it's just it did not have as much care as it was for the first 2.
Now, I would say from any types of rating system we'll do, I'm happy to say that this is a great movie.
It is.
It is easily, I'll say, my second favorite film in the DCU. But I do want to state some reasons why it's not anything higher. So a lot of the situation, mainly from humor, it is a lot of juvenile stuff.
Yeah, it's very playgroundish, I would say. Like you guys, like you're better than this at certain areas. Like, did you really have to go there for that joke, or are they really doing this particular at this moment right now?
Like, I find the humor be strong and well as emotional beats when it is more sincere.
Exactly. It's very hard to say where this is going to fit in the larger scheme.
But by itself, let's have some fun with the Suicide Squad.
Exactly.
My name is Adam.
And I'm Aaron.
And this has been a Siki Media Productions. Please be sure to look at other videos that we've done. Oh, and also check out some written out social media reviews from Twitter and Instagram, as we don't have that much time to discuss other films that came out this year.
Sometimes it's just so much. Some of them we're not going to be able to get the detail for a full on video, but we'll still give you our lowdown on how we felt about them.
But yeah, Still like, share, subscribe, and comment below. How do you feel about the Suicide Squad?
Did you watch it?
It's probably gonna be divisive, or you're gonna have fun with it. We don't know. But until then, see you.